And let's get you the latest on Cyclone Fani that has made a landfall in Odisha's Puri district in the morning, which has triggered very heavy rainfall and strong winds in Bhubaneswar as well as other parts of Odisha. Now, the cyclone hit Puri coast at a wind speed about 175 kilometers per hour. In fact, let me go across to my colleague Tamal joining me live from Kolkata, getting us further updates on this. Tamal, we do understand that the eye of the storm, as said by a lot of experts, would be moving towards the West Bengal, and understandably, even the West Bengal Chief Minister has cancelled all her rallies and she's very closely monitoring the situation. What is the kind of preparedness you're getting from on ground?
Well, that's right. West Bengal seems to be quite vulnerable now because the very severe cyclone Fani has shifted towards West Bengal. It's inching closer towards the coastal line of Bengal, starting from Digha, Tajpur, Shankarpur area. And while it moves towards Bangladesh, it would also cross Sundarbans area. So yes, overall, most of the parts of West Bengal can get affected because of very severe cyclone Fani. By the time it reaches Kolkata, which could be around evening, it would then transform into very severe cyclone. It won't remain extremely severe cyclone, but it would remain as very severe cyclone. Now, you have to understand Kolkata is a metropolitan setup. So even though evacuation drive has been taken from the coastal line areas, but nothing much can be done for Kolkata because it's a metro setup and the wind speed, which is expected to be anything above 65 kilometers per hour, could be very catastrophic for a metro setup like Kolkata. Thus, the Kolkata Municipal Corporation has taken all the preventive measures. For example, advisory has been issued to all the hawkers to close their shops and remain away from the street corners, from the footpath, and keep the footpath free for people to walk. And also keeping in mind all these hawker setups, they are very fragile in nature, so they can fly in the air and can hit someone or something or somebody, and thus an untoward situation can emerge. Apart from that, Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee herself, is camping there in Kharagpur, which is a center point for both East Medinipur and West Medinipur districts. Both the districts are extremely considered to be vulnerable at this point in time because East Medinipur is on the coastal line. So Chief Minister has herself opened a setup in Kharagpur so that if there is any emergency, she can respond, and she is monitoring very closely. Apart from that, a setup has also come up at the state secretariat, which is Nabanno, and people are watching it very closely. Yes, the advisory which clearly says there is a helpline number which is 1070. I repeat, it's 1070. People in distress should dial that number for any kind of assistance. As far as Kolkata Metropolitan is concerned, people are advised to stay calm and stay indoors, not to panic. And if the storm hits, they should stay indoors and stay away from anything which is an under construction setup. People should stay away from electric poles just to avoid anything untoward. As I said and I repeat myself, in Kolkata, in this metropolitan setup, things are extremely crucial to be monitored and extremely vulnerable equally. Tree uprooting is another concern. So Kolkata Municipal Corporation has also also kept excavators in standby. If there is any tree which gets uprooted, roads can be cleared for free movement. So at the moment, rain has started, downpour has started, and people are still moving. Important to mention, all the government schools have been advised to remain shut, and the meteorological department has said that the very severe storm, when it hits Kolkata, it can be ranging between 65 kilometers per hour, can go up to 80 kilometers per hour. It can also shoot up to 100 kilometers per hour. So yes, Kolkata is extremely crucial, extremely vulnerable at this point in time, and people are advised to stay indoors, stay calm, do not panic, keep the number handy, which is 1070. Dial the number if you need any assistance, and the other assistance, other helpline numbers are also available. They should dial those numbers for any kind of assistance. Back to you.
A lot of advisories in place, helpline number of 1070 also given out to all the people. But also, Tamal, help us understand this. Has there any evacuation process initiated, especially for people living in the low-lying areas, which could have been more impacted because of the cyclone, which is expected to reach West Bengal perhaps tomorrow?
Well, that's right. The model code of conduct has been lifted for West Bengal. Thus, several relief camps have come up and the state government has been given complete freedom to work for the assistance of people. We know there had been several relief camps which have come up in Sundarbans area. Let's not forget what happened to Kolkata and the South 24 Parganas area during the severe cyclone Ayla that had hit Bengal a couple of years back. We had seen the kind of disaster it had left West Bengal with. So yes, keeping that in mind, relief camps have come up at several areas near Bokhali in South 24 Parganas because that is also close to the coastal line and also border areas. So yes, that apart, in the coastal area of Digha, in Digha alone, about 132 people have been evacuated. Relief camps have come up. All the tourists have been advised to go back. So hotels have shut down. There are few hotels functional now. Yes, as I said and I repeat, evacuation has happened. Relief camps have come up, but then people need to be extremely cautious. They should not see this as an adventure. I know there had been extremely scorching heat in the past couple of days, and because it has started raining, many people are trying to enjoy the downpour, but then they should also be mindful. This is not a mere rainfall that is happening. It is not a mere downpour that is happening. It can last for several hours, close to 48 hours, which can inundate low-lying areas. So people should be very careful. They should adopt the basic measures of wearing a raincoat, keeping an umbrella handy. At the same time, they should not venture outside as much as possible because the storm is likely, the very severe cyclone is likely to hit West Bengal by evening, and it would approach Kolkata, a metropolitan setup, which makes the entire situation even more vulnerable. Back to you.
Absolutely. Many thanks, Tamal, for joining us and bringing us all those updates there on ground on the advisory that is being put in place, especially with Cyclone Fani expected to reach Kolkata, the West Bengal state, tomorrow. In fact, let me quickly get in some perspective here. Mr. G.P. Sharma of SkyMed joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Sharma, many thanks for joining us on this broadcast. We were just getting some updates there coming in from West Bengal from our correspondent who was giving us the various advisories and how they have to exercise caution. There's a helpline number in place. But help us understand this. With the Cyclone Fani already making a landfall in Puri, to what extent is the severity going to be, especially when the cyclone is going to go towards the state of West Bengal? Is it going to be equally severe, or can we expect some reduction in the severity and ferocity of the cyclone?
See, the cyclone, as we know, had hit as extremely severe cyclone. Now also, even after almost about 2 hours of crossing the coast, it continues to maintain its intensity, retain its intensity. But I expect it to downgrade shortly to very severe cyclonic storm. Because in extremely severe, obviously, the winds go as much as up to about 200 km per hour. When the very severe, it gets restricted to about 160, 170 km per hour. It should happen shortly. But then for the next about 6 to 8 hours, obviously, we watch out for Orissa, most of the areas in Orissa, that is, now it has already crossed Puri. It should be further. We should look for the Cuttack, Bhubaneswar, Bhadrak, right up to Baripada, which is on border with West Bengal region. These are the areas which are vulnerable. Bhubaneswar has been having wind speed of 130 km per hour right for the last about hour and a half or so. Even 10 o'clock weather was also 70 knots, means about 130, 140 km, and now also it is gusting to about 140, and along with it's a very heavy rain also taking place. So that's what is damaging these parts, and it's going to continue. The only thing is another 12 hours or so, late in the night towards early morning, yes, storm will move fast. It's moving almost parallel to the coast inside land also. Okay, so it is following the coastline, but mostly through and through Orissa enter West Bengal. West Bengal, it would enter somewhere close to say East Midnapur or so. That is the area. Kharagpur, Midnapur,
Okay.
Kalaikunda air base is there, that area, and then it will cover. Kolkata will be there, Digha, Kolkata, 24 Pargana, Hooghly, Howrah. These are the areas where possibly we'll have heavy rains. As of now, only rain has started, winds are not there. Rains are also light. But as we go towards another 12 hours, 18 hours or so, winds also will be picking up. Though it will be downgraded to severe cyclonic storm by then, in which case the winds are to the tune of about 80 kilometers per hour and gusting to about 100 kilometers or sometime in excess. But that is also equally damaging. 100 kilometers is some speed, and particularly when accompanied with heavy rains or so, both this is a deadly combination. Winds and the rains are deadly combination, because the many of these structures, particularly the weaker one, they are quite possibly will collapse also. Uprooting of trees possibly will take place. Flying debris will be there. So that is all will happen even in West Bengal also when it reaches there as a severe cyclone. So I will say no, not at all it is advisable to lower our guard. We remain utmost cautious as we were for Odisha. Similar conditions we should expect. Gangetic West Bengal also, West Bengal, but on a little lower scale because it will downgrade to cyclonic storm. But mind you, this is not the usual time for West Bengal to have these storms. In the month of last days of April or first few days of May, I haven't seen any storm visiting in that area in the recent history. Second half of May or towards the later half of May, yes, they do come, but this is a little unusual period and unusual intensity also of the storm with which they are visiting that pocket. Normally these storms, they quickly, rapidly, they weaken the moment they move inside by about 50 kilometer or 100 kilometer, they lose their steam. But then, since it is moving almost along the coast, parallel to the coast, proximity of Bay of Bengal is giving it its energy from in the terms of moisture, and that's how keeping it live. That's how the decay is very, very gradual, very, very slow. As of now also, still punched with the winds of, as I said, Bhubaneswar having 130, 140. So it's going to be a long affair with this cyclone for Orissa for the next about 12 hours, and later we look for even West Bengal region will be impacted with the severe cyclonic storm. That's it now. Yes, please.
All right. All right, Mr. Sharma, how do you assess perhaps the state's preparedness? Because you said this was unprecedented in a lot of ways. The intensity of the wind, the downpour, everything is a little unprecedented at a time. How do you assess the state's preparedness, especially after the 1999 super cyclone, which had left a trail of destruction? Do you feel that with the advent of technology, we had enough technology, we have forewarnings in place? Do you feel that we are in a better condition perhaps to minimize, mitigate the damage this time around?
That's sure. You see, 1999, obviously technology was not there. Even along with that, preparedness was not there. This time, this storm has been there in the Bay of Bengal. It was there for almost about 10 days. Right from its inception, when it was closer to the equator, from there on itself, the tracks were, by and large, they were known. Yes, there was a little change. Earlier, possibly caution was there for Tamil Nadu coast also, but then it changed its course, which is quite expected. It is, at this point of time, yes, these are all skirting cyclones. They threaten the east coast. They do not cross. But then this has made an exception that it has crossed the coast. But then, preparation-wise, yes, it gave us enough notice. Actually, last couple of days, we knew that this is going to be the track, this is going to be the intensity. It has given a lot of time towards preparation. So even for that matter, whether it's a state of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha or West Bengal, everyone is prepared enough to tackle the calamity as such in terms of this particular storm. And I say the losses, I think, will be minimal on account of the state machinery which has moved everything possible to provide the relief So I will expect that even West Bengal also, they are equally prepared to take on this cyclone. Head on they will take, and then I think we should be able to control and minimize the losses as such. That is it now. Yes, please.
All right. All right. Many thanks, Mr. GP Sharma, for joining us with your perspective and helping us understand the progression and the intensity of Cyclone Fani, which has in fact made a landfall in Puri with more than 10 lakh people around those areas already being evacuated at this point.